Hello everyone. So we were watching the Holler Homestead video the other day when they first moved into their new property there, and they were talking about their plans. They were discussing their plans for the new property, and it made me realize I don't think we've had that discussion yet. I wanted to talk about what it is that we plan on doing. So with this house, this homestead that we have out there on the 8 acres, we do have a vision for the future. So we are planning on eventually getting egg-laying chickens and egg-laying ducks, and we want to get my oldest daughter wants a pet pig. So we're not talking about in the point where we would have pigs for eating or anything like that, but I mean, who knows, maybe sometime in the future we'll get to that point. But right now her goal is to have a pet pig. My second daughter, her goal is to have a horse, which I am okay with. We'd want to have a full-size one that'd be good for riding, and maybe, who knows, maybe we'll use it for farm implements or something as well. We'd also want to have a fully growing vegetable garden, way bigger than the little one I planted this year, to supplement some of our income by growing our own food and having that organic food there for us. Speaking of organic, we bought some seeds from the store the other day. My children wanted to plant some seeds, which we talked about in the last video. And I found it interesting, some of the stuff they had bought was not heirloom organic varieties. It was the, like one of my children picked up a thing that said hybrid bilicious corn or something to that effect. And I found it interesting that the back of those seeds, so, you know, we talk about GMO, genetically modified organisms, how some of these plants, these have been modified to maybe resist disease or resist insect infestation or resist drought, or even be terminator seeds where every year you have to continue to buy the same food because it helps, my guess is it helps to keep the company in profit if you just have to keep coming back to them to continue to buy your seed because you can't get seeds from the plants you grew last year. In the back of the seed packets actually say do not consume, but the back of the organic packages do not have that warning. That's telling you something. You can't even eat the seed. Like this, I'm talking about the corn specifically. The bilicious corn says do not eat the seed on the back. It's a piece of corn. That's what the seed is a piece of corn. It says don't eat it. But the organic ones don't have that warning. So talking about our vision and where we want to go. So I will say that this whole thing, even though in general we do not know why we're here. I mean, we know what we want to do as far as food growth and things, but we do know that we're here for a purpose. So back when we first started to plan to sell our home, a prophet came to our church on, I believe, February 24th. And he said if anybody wanted to be prophesied over, to, you know, come up to the front, he'd prophesy over you. And I went up specifically because we had already had the plan, the dream in our mind that we wanted to sell our house, move out on some land, start a homestead. But I really wanted to have a confirmation. So I went up. I did not give the guy any leads where I wanted to go, you know, nothing like that. I just sat down and he started talking. And he said, I see you moving out onto some land in the outskirts of the city. He said, you're going, which I'm like already like, yes, we're moving the right direction. He said, you're going to breed puppies, which that offset me a little bit because I had to think about it. And then I remembered that when my wife and I first got together, she told me that one of her dreams was to breed dogs. And I thought, that's so weird that now, you know, 13 years later, that this dream's come back. Like, you're going to breed puppies. So we do want to pursue that. Probably at this point we're thinking it's going to be Great Danes. We haven't got to that point yet, but that's what we're thinking we're going to do. The breed may change when we get to that point, but I'm thinking it's going to be Great Danes. He said you're going to work from home, start your own business. That excites me because that's another thing. You know, the farm, the homesteading thing, this is a new dream for us. Years ago, my wife and I, we babysat or farm sat for a couple that they had to leave town for a week. We watched their farm. We lived on their farm for a week and took care of everything. And when we left, my wife said, this life is not for me. I don't want to be a farmer. I don't want to live like this. I'm scared of the dark, the noises. I think those were the things she was saying at the time. the homesteading dream's new for us. So, you know, this was our dream before we got here, but it hasn't been our dream forever. Working from home 13 years ago. This has been our dream for 13 years. I've been talking about being able to work from home and sustain the family. So he said, you're going to work from home, you're going to start your own business, you're going to be making $102,000 a year. I thought, that's pretty specific, but that's beautiful. So what have we been up to since our last update? Well, we got internet on Friday, so that's wonderful. It's been, what, a month, probably almost a month without internet, so it's great to finally have internet in the house. I got a new sink installed. I've got 2 more left. We got a scythe. Okay, we need to make sure we separate. And I am terribly not skilled.
Is it working?
It's going to take some practice because I was swinging at a weed and it just kept bending over. It wouldn't even cut through it. So it could be that it's not fully sharp. I ordered it sharpened, but maybe I'm still supposed to hit it with the stone, the sharpening stone. I don't know. Yesterday was Sunday. I bought my first gun. We got a 12 gauge shotgun, so we'll be using that for just protecting our homestead if it ever came down to that. But maybe, possibly in the future, learning how to hunt off the land as well. So we got the 28-inch barrel and the 18.5-inch barrel. So I got my new smart smoke detector and CO detector and went to put them up, and just like that found a problem. And my fun is over. These look just like, except they say with voice, these look just like the first alert alarms that work on the Z-Wave language, or whatever you want to say, that wirelessly connect to the Ring. But this is actually model number SC0500, and the model that works with Ring that I have is the SC Combo. So I'm gonna ask Amazon, hopefully they'll let me return these. So I did get my Ring smart lighting, the spotlight, floodlight cam, as well as the floodlight, and got everything installed except for the floodlight cam so far. So I'm out here in between raindrops. Gonna get some of these watermelon seeds in the ground. So the coconut core is expanding. Let's take a look at some of the damage here. So this is the onion row. I'm guessing that's an onion. Not even positive. But there is some whole missing zone here. Starting at this was my lettuce. They're not doing well. Most of them are missing. This doesn't belong here. Most of them are missing, and what's left, it's either falling down or just isn't growing. Like, that's not impressive for how long these have been out here. They're barely growing. So let's see what else we got going on here. This is broccoli. Nothing there. Ow, prickly weed there. No broccoli. No broccoli. No broccoli. Cauliflower. That thing's looking dead. That's looking pretty alive. Nothing. 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 Another piece of cauliflower. Another piece of cauliflower. And another one. Back to broccoli again, because I alternated here. I see nothing growing up. There's a nice broccoli plant. The first one so far. There's another broccoli. Another broccoli. I gotta de-weed this thing. Nothing. 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 Alright. This is... can't even read anymore. I think it's ginger basil. Nothing. Nothing. Starting on the next row. Onions. Nothing. No, this isn't onions. Oh, peppers. Nothing. Something. There's something. Very lightly colored. This, Bonnie Best tomatoes. There's one there. This one's looking pathetic. Don't know what has happened here. Let's get him at least partially standing back up. There's another one there. Another one there. At least we're growing some tomatoes here. Another one there. There. Now we're on to Russian purple tomatoes. And there's some there growing up with a blade of grass. Trying not to pull the tomatoes out with the blade of grass there. And then another one also looking pathetic. Laying down. How does this happen? Alright, let's get this thing standing back up here. Really gotta do something about these grass and weeds. I need to come through. I've been having the kids de-weed the garden, but they haven't done it in a few days, and I haven't done it in, I don't know, probably at least a week myself. I need to be out here and cleaning these edges up. There's weeds everywhere. Here, this row is where we're gonna plant our watermelon today. Here's our cilantro. There, there, there. A weed. Grass. So, something else right there. Cilantro, cilantro. Our one grapevine. Strawberries, nothing, nothing, nothing. They did not come up at all. Our next row is probably, I would say, the most impressive in the garden. Not everything, but some things. Like this is supposed to be carrots. I don't know. I don't know what they look like, what they're supposed to look like. That may be a carrot, I don't know. This looks like grass, grass, grass. I don't even know what that is. That might be a carrot. That might be a carrot. Other than that, don't think the carrot row's doing too well either. Oh, that might be a carrot there too. So yeah, here's where we start to get impressive. This is our cucumbers. Got those there. Look at that guy there. More here, here, and here. Now we get to the next plant, which is our beans. So they're also doing really well. We have a nub here. Something ate that guy. I'm not even sure if this is a bean. This is growing pretty mightily. It kind of looks like something intentional, but it looks nothing like these. That's a whole different leaf pattern, but that looks like could be some type of bean. Maybe it's a different species that got stuck in the bag. That guy got nubbed off too. All right, so let's get to planting these watermelon. So these are sugar baby watermelon seeds, organic. No warnings on the back. Could actually eat the seeds. Now let's get some of these onions that we lost back in the ground. And now for some lettuce. Actually changed my mind here about the lettuce. I'm going to rebuild some of the soil mounds before I plant. Don't want to cover up that guy, but I will go around him. And with lettuce seeds and a lot of my seeds, I usually do 2 seeds per hole just in case I have failed germination. And now for the strawberries. Actually, I'll rebuild this. There we go. That's a bigger mound there. Muscade carrots and peppers. All right, that's it for the garden update. I'm gonna go in and grab some dinner. So I'm hoping that this was the only problem, that I just need to use the sharpening stone to sharpen the blade to get it to a place where it's actually ready.
Run for your life! Hey, that person way back. And that person wants our being recorded. Unless the video didn't record that. Go do your own. I don't have one. Go get another one. Go show yours. This one is breaking. Go show yours some more power.
Finally feel like I'm starting to get the hang of this thing. All right, well, I'm worn out. It's getting pretty late, so I'm gonna call it a day. Eventually, once I get all this cleared out with the scythe, then I'll be able to at least go by. This is where the water flows, so I'll at least be able to go with the push mower. I will not be riding the zero turn near this. Be afraid that thing will slide down in there and never come back out. I did get some stuff done today. Some of this section I didn't get as done, and then there's also spots. But yeah, I went way down there. But there's also spots down in here where the water is. It's really hard to get the scythe to cut over the water because it's easier to guide it along the ground. But just for good measure, before I pack it up, gotta get a big section of grass here, and I don't know how they do it. I can't even fold the grass. Clean off your blade. I hope you didn't grab any ticks along the way. We are standing at the end of the back fence, and my goal pretty soon is to get mowed out far enough to get back to our building that's way back there. You can see the rooftop back there. I don't want to go hiking through this tall grass to get there, so might have to either scythe all the way back or use a push mower all the way back.
It's raining.
Create a path, but I need to make sure that's open because eventually we want that to be our barn for our animals. Came in the house, it started pouring down rain outside, and water's coming through the front door.